Well, good afternoon. Early Monday morning, Police Commissioner Ray Kelly and I rushed to Jamaica Medical Center, as you know, where emergency department doctors were trying valiantly to save the life of police officer Peter Fagoski. Despite their best efforts, Officer Fagoski perished from a gunshot fired at close range by a career criminal, wanted for violent crimes and armed with an illegal semi-automatic pistol. Officer Vosi served this city for 22 years and gave his life to protect the rest of us. Today, his family, including his 4 daughters, are grieving for him. Flags on City Hall Plaza and all across the city have been lowered to half-staff in his memory. But that, of course, is not enough. We owe Officer Fagoski much more than our everlasting gratitude. We owe him our commitment that the cause for which he gave his life, protecting the life and safety of others, will be our underlying cause. And that means, of course, that we must continue to do more to stop illegal guns from being put in the hands of criminals. Now, over the past decade, we've launched a wide-ranging attack on illegal guns, and today we're opening a new front in that battle by targeting what has become an increasingly prevalent and dangerous problem: illegal gun sales via the Internet. In recent months, the city has conducted what we believe to be the first nationwide investigation of illegal online gun sales by private individuals who are not licensed gun dealers. The online market for guns sold both by licensed dealers and by private individuals is vast and growing. The Justice Department has estimated that there are more than 4,000 websites that offer guns for sale. Our investigators found that more than 25,000 guns for sale on just 10 websites. Private gun sellers don't have to conduct background checks before making sales, as licensed dealers are supposed to do. Nevertheless, it is a federal felony for them to sell firearms to any purchasers that they have reason to believe are legally banned from making gun buys. And our investigation found that some online sellers followed the law, but listen, let me give you a good example. We're going to listen to one of those examples, an audio tape made by one of our investigators. It is a case study of how a private seller is supposed to behave in such a situation, and then we'll see where they didn't behave correctly. This is one where the seller did the right thing.
Hello. Hi, I'm calling about that El Paso gun trader ad for the Kimber Target. Hello. Hi, I'm calling about that El Paso gun trader ad for the Kimber Target SS.
Yes, sir.
I know it says here 700 firms, so I'm not even going to try to lowball you. But you're not a licensed guy, right?
No, I'm not a licensed dealer, sir.
Okay, so no background checks?
No background checks, sir.
Oh, that's good, because I probably couldn't pass one. Anyway.
Oh, yeah, because you just told me that, though, I can't sell it to you.
Why is that?
Because if you just told me that you can't pass it, it'd be a felony for me to sell it to you. So, thanks. Have a good day.
Run up on me.
That was the correct legal response. A private seller does not have an obligation to do a background check, but if the private seller knows that you are prohibited from buying a gun, it is a felony if the private seller sells it to you. And so here was somebody acting responsibly. Unfortunately, our investigation, which was overseen by our Chief Policy Advisor, John Feinblatt, found that such conduct was not the rule. It was, unfortunately, the exception. Our investigators made phone calls to 125 private gun sellers in 14 states who had advertised weapons for sale on 10 websites, 5 of which accounted for the great majority of the firearms listings we saw. In each of those phone conversations, an investigator said that he probably couldn't pass a background check. Yet 77 sellers, 62% of the total, failed the integrity test and, disregarding federal law, agreed to sell the guns to the investigators anyways. Investigators asked 5 of these sellers to meet them in person to complete the sales, and all 5 did. We made videotapes of the initial phone conversations and videos of the follow-up sales. Let's hear and watch 2 of them now.
Hello?
Hey, this is Eric. I just missed your call about the gun on arms list.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Eric.
I got like 3. I was wondering which one were you interested in.
How about the Smith 9mm there? You take $425 for it.
Yeah, I've got a couple other guys that want to trade me, but if you're talking cash, I'd much rather have cash.
Oh, I got cash.
And just bring ID with you. I'll bring my ID, so everything will be cool like that, you know.
Yeah, you're
I'll
not.
show you that I'm over 18 years old.
You're not one of those licensed guys, though, are you, Eric?
No, no. This is private party, so it'll be just really easy.
Okay, but there's no background check, right?
No background check, no nothing. No.
Good, because I probably couldn't pass one.
Really?
So.
No, don't say that, man.
So four.
I don't want to hear that.
All right, so $425.
Yeah, 425 is what I'm asking for it. Yep.
I went that way.
Yeah. So you got the Smith & Wesson, right? 469.
Yep, that's the 469.
Okay.
Or you could put this in your pocket and have 15 rounds extra. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you run out of rounds with that, God forbid, you got a reload. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Okay. You come up there and make sure everything's okay.
All right, sir. 1, 2,
So-
3, 4, 50.
Well, listen, I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right.
You enjoy.
Now that was bad enough. In the second case, you'll hear now and see the sale of an assault rifle, also in disregard of federal law.
Hello?
I was calling about that Ruger Mini 14 you got there. Still got it?
Yeah, yes I do.
You're not one of those licensed guys or anything, right?
No.
Okay, good. So no paperwork, no taxes, and
None of that. Nope, just
no background
I
checks.
I just take cash and there
Okay.
you go.
All right, no background checks. That's good because I probably couldn't pass one of those things. So, but yeah, $650, man. I'd love to have it.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
Well, let's
if
see.
you want,
Just give me a call at this number, and we'll just hook up there.
The only guy carrying one.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So that's it, huh?
That's it.
Take a look.
I'll go right ahead. Feel free.
Count it for me. Make sure it's there.
Okay. It all works out in the end. You got what you want. And
All right. Yes,
got what
we
I
do.
wanted. So.
All right. Thanks a lot.
On the table before us are all the weapons our investigators purchased. One of them you may recognize from this week's news. It is a Ruger P95 9mm semi-automatic pistol, the same make and model of the weapon used to kill Officer Vosi. It is a weapon sought by street criminals across the country. Now, while both the sales videos that we've just shown you took place in Ohio, Our investigation indicates illegal online sales are a problem that's national in scope. Our investigators made calls to unlicensed online gun dealers in 14 states. Time and again, as you're about to hear, the sellers ignored statements the investigators made about their not being able to pass background checks. Let's listen again.
So no paperwork or anything.
No. Just as long as like you're like a Kentucky resident, I don't care.
Okay, yeah. So no background checks, right?
Right.
That's good because I probably couldn't pass one. Okay. Yeah, 400 cash. Yeah,
I take 400 cash.
You're not like a licensed guy, are you?
No.
Okay, so no background checks or anything like that?
No, I'm just a private person.
Oh, that's good because I probably couldn't pass one. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
I probably couldn't either.
Hey, you're talking my language there, Fred. I like
Yes,
that.
sir.
So there ain't gonna be no background checks or nothing like that then.
It's your problem if it's not legal for you to buy it. That's how that works here in Tennessee.
Okay, because I probably couldn't pass one background.
Well, you shouldn't tell me that, though.
Oh, well.
That's okay. I don't know all the letters of the law, but I'm pretty sure if somebody said I can't pass a background check, you're not supposed to give it to them. But it's okay. I would.
You don't need no background check or anything like that, right?
No, in Ohio, all I need to see is your license to make sure you're over 21.
That's good because I probably couldn't pass one.
I don't even know it.
No background checks. You know.
No background checks.
That's good because I probably couldn't pass one.
Yeah, if you end up using it on somebody afterwards, I might use my other gun on your ass. Yeah, call me back around 6, then I'll just write up the bill of sale to you or whatever. I don't know how that works.
Like I said, couldn't pass a background check anyway, so.
That right there, a lot of people do have that problem. And I mean, just between you and me, there's a lot of people that buy guns that way that probably can't walk into a gun store and do it. But person-to-person private sales, you just sell a gun.
Finally, we want you to listen to one more phone conversation, because in this case, an online seller agreed to a gun sale to sell a gun to a buyer who said that he was not yet 18 years old. Such a sale would violate federal law.
Hello?
Hi, I saw your ad on gun listings for the Glock 27. Is that still available?
Oh, yeah, that's me. I got it.
So you got it for $475. Would you be willing to do $425?
I could probably meet you in between like 450. It's probably the lowest I can take right now.
Oh, I can do $450. You're not a licensed dealer, right?
No, I'm not. No.
Okay, that's good because I'm only 17, but I've been shooting my guns my whole life, and I'm gonna be 18 in 6 months.
Yeah.
So how do you want to do this? I can go closer to you.
When were you wanting to do it?
Well, maybe over the weekend would be okay if you're around.
Oh, yeah, okay, I was going to say, if you wanted it tonight, I could, but, yeah, anytime this weekend, just give me a call, or I'll give you a call back, and we'll work on arrangements or something.
All right, great.
All right.
Thanks very much. Bye.
Now, let me be clear. The Internet is a perfectly appropriate medium for legitimate commerce, including legal gun sales. Even before our investigation began, however, it was evident that unscrupulous online gun sales pose a significant threat to public safety. When a gun sale is made without a background check, we don't know if it was done online or on a street corner. But in any case, it poses significant dangers. For example, because this market is essentially unregulated, no information about Internet sales would appear in trace reports about guns used in crimes, and the widespread disregard for the law that our investigation revealed demonstrates the need to take 3 immediate and crucial steps. First, federal law should require a background check for every gun sale, not just those involving licensed dealers. Private sales by people who are not dealers account for an estimated 40% of gun sales in the U.S. Many of them are done online with no background check, no records kept of sales, and no questions asked. The Fixed Gun Checks Act, introduced by New York Senator Charles Schumer and by Representative Carolyn McCarthy, would close this gaping loophole. The bipartisan coalition of 600 Mayors Against Illegal Guns that I co-chair proposed this bill more than 10 months ago after the Tucson mass shooting. Congress should pass this without further delay. Second, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the federal agency responsible for enforcing gun laws, should itself investigate online sales and enforce existing laws. We've given evidence developed in this investigation, including audio and video records, to the Field Division of the ATF and to the U.S. Attorney's Office. The ATF should also create an online training video explaining the federal laws governing online gun sales. This would be similar to the online training videos ATF has produced for licensed gun dealers and the general public. The video should underscore that if you are a private seller, it is a felony to make a sale to anyone you have reason to believe is prohibited from purchasing firearms. Third and finally, websites should develop and enforce policies that deter illegal gun sales. Let me point out, for example, that Craigslist has a stated policy prohibiting the use of that website for gun sales of any kind. Not only is that policy ignored, but 82% of the sellers we contacted via Craigslist also ignored their legal duty to refrain from agreeing to sales to suspected buyers. That is the worst record of any of the 5 principal websites that we looked into. So Craigslist really needs to clean up its act. And at a minimum, all websites that do sanction gun sales should require buyers and sellers to provide verified personal information about themselves before they can complete transactions. The website should also devise mechanisms that will alert website administrators to suspicious behavior. All of these steps would go a long ways towards ending the kind of disturbing practices our investigation uncovered, and they might well prevent more needless bloodshed and the loss of life in our city and our nation. On that note, let me turn the floor over to my Chief Policy Advisor, John Feinblatt. John?
Thank you, Mayor. Look, we all know that the internet has transformed almost everything we do, from the way we learn, to the way we work, and to the way we shop. And it has also changed the way people buy and sell guns. And this investigation, for the first time, takes a snapshot of that new online market. And unfortunately, our investigation concludes that it's not a pretty picture. In 2009, we announced the results of undercover stings at gun shows. That investigation showed us the inner workings of one potentially lethal market. Today, it's clear that the internet is another. And perhaps it's even more potentially lethal, because these websites are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and they can be completely anonymous. Unlike at a gun show, there aren't even operators watching. There isn't the chance that law enforcement might be present, or there aren't any good examples from licensed dealers selling side by side who are obeying the law. That's why these websites can be a 24/7 field day for felons. And until today, nobody was paying any attention. As the mayor just said, the scope of this problem is huge. That's why we need Congress to listen to 600 mayors from around the country and vote to require background checks for every gun sale. But we can't just wait for the Fixed Gun Checks Act to be passed. These websites need to take some basic steps to prevent illegal and dangerous activity, to break through the online veil of secrecy, and to replace it with transparency and accountability. Today, we sent letters urging websites to take 4 simple steps. Require sellers to provide identification, require buyers to do the same, create an effective way for users to flag violations on the websites, and for the website operators to conduct internal audits to screen for illegal activity. There's nothing extraordinary about these recommendations, and in fact, many websites selling guns already have them in place today. We've also provided ATF with all the evidence of illegal activity. We encourage them to follow up on these cases. And just as important, we encourage them to develop a rigorous training program and a strong enforcement program similar to the one that we conducted that will help address future illegal sales. It will help police officers, it will save lives, and in the end, everyone involved in this has really a choice to make. They can ignore criminal activity, or they can take some basic steps to shut it down. Thanks.
I'd like to also ask Police Commissioner Kelly for his comments on this investigation. Ray?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We all already contend with the iron pipeline bringing guns into New York City. The last thing that we need is an electronic pipeline. As the mayor said, as John said, there's no question that the internet is a very powerful tool for communication and for commerce. The good clearly outweighs the bad. But it was true for the Postal Service, and in the world learned that Lee Harvey Oswald purchased his weapon, his rifle, through the mail. There was a huge outcry. And the Gun Control Act of 1968 banned the sale of guns through the mail. We shouldn't have to wait for the assassination of a president or the killing of a police officer to dismantle a conduit bringing illicit guns into the city. Now, the gun that the mayor mentioned, the gun that was used to kill police officer Fogotsky, was purchased legally in 1999 in Virginia. We know that because of the records that were kept, and it gives us something to work with. But records kept on the internet can evaporate very quickly when we're talking about unregulated gun transactions. I-95 is a very effective way of getting guns into the city. We don't need an electronic highway to make it easier. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Ray, thank you. The findings of our investigation are described in the report Point, Click, and Fire, which is available here today and also online at the city's website, nyc.gov. Now, before taking questions, let me summarize today's announcement for our Spanish-speaking New Yorkers. Nueva investigación realizada por la ciudad ha descubierto que muchos vendedores privados de armas en línea venden a personas que dicen que no pueden pasar revisiones de antecedentes, aunque hacer este tipo de venta es un delito grave federal. And with that, we'll be happy to take questions. Yes, sir.